What up, everybody? This is Boxing Vibes TV, and we coming to you live. And we got the topic of the day is we got the four young gunners, man, and we want to know they're in the lighter division. We got Teofimo Lopez, we got Devin Haney, we got Ryan Garcia, and we got Gervonta Davis. We got Big Tank, man. You know, we want to know who do y'all think will be the last man standing whenever they face off? Who you think will be the future of boxing? You know, who do y'all like, man? You know, JD, Jay, whichever one of y'all want to take this thing first, man.
I'll go ahead and lead off because I already know JD gonna take my answer, so I'm gonna be first.
Speak then, brother. Speak.
If he manages himself well outside of the ring, I think it's gonna be Teofimo Lopez. Just his raw athleticism, punching power, and what he did to Comey. I think he's already arrived as far as his talent level, his IQ in the game. I think once he gets more and more experience, he's only going to get better, which is saying a lot for a guy who's performing like he's performing now. So we'll say I want to see more of Devin Haney, so I'm not going to go ahead and write him off. But as far as being the tops, the future of boxing is in its most prime division, which has been welterweight division over these past 20 years. I think it's going to be Teofimo Lopez because he has that range to where now he's fighting, he's fighting 130, 135, and he has a super fight looming with Vasily Lomachenko. And ultimately, the clock is ticking because he's a young guy, and now as he's filling out, he's going to eventually step a toe into junior welterweight and then the welterweight division, where I feel he'll probably max out his weight at. So I think he has the brightest future. I think he has the most talent. I think he's the most athletic. And I think he has the right mixture of personality. Because before I even knew who the guy was, I was like, oh, yeah, that's the guy that does the backflips after a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
exactly. Yeah.
So he has that marketability. He has the flashiness. He has the ring acumen. He has the athletic ability. He has the whole package out of all the guys we mentioned. Not taking away from any other guys. You can look at somebody here and then not necessarily, count them in as far as being the next generation, and they just take off. So nobody saw Terrence Crawford coming. So yeah. I'm not going to say the book is closed shut and it's Teofimo Lopez, but if I had to call it, I say Teofimo is the next one up as far as the young guns go.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree, man. Teofimo Lopez is definitely, he's got that it factor. Everything that Jay just said, but I'll show a little love to Tank Davis on this one. I'm going to show a little bit of love on Tank Davis. And I think Tank has the opportunity to be legendary. And when I say legendary, I'm meaning from just the idea of pound for pound and being one of the greatest small dynamos that we've ever seen. At 5'5", with a knockout rate like he has with 23 fights, 22 knockouts, if he can manage to keep up that pace and continue to blister people the way he does and knock out most of his opponents at that light of a weight and at that small of a stature, I think without a doubt, there's no way that the world won't pay attention to somebody like a Gervonta Tank Davis. With Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, there's still a lot left out there to see from them. I believe both of them will have pretty good careers overall. Both of them seem like they'll be excellent boxers. I don't know how much they'll honestly end up being necessarily box office, but I'd have to roll with Gervonta Tank Davis as being really the top star. Again, like I said, Jay's exactly right on Teofimo Lopez too. He has that size and athleticism that I think we all, maybe 4 or 5 years from now, could see him dabbling up in the welterweight division. But with Tank, I see Tank being there too as kind of a small, excellent dynamo, knocking people out like we've never seen before at that size with that kind of that kind of power. Because to have that kind of knockout ratio and you 5'5", that's something special that I think won't be ignored by a lot of people.
I'm gonna jump in because there's something that I need to kind of, I always. The good thing about this, we can take it left, take it right. We can always add to it as long as we're not taking it away. Just to say something about Gervonta Davis, his resume is suspect, and I don't think he has the discipline yet. Right? I think.
Don't go too long now, because you on my time.
I know I'm on your time, but I'm gonna hit y'all with a bombshell that was irresponsible of all of us. When we talk about young guns and the fact that we haven't mentioned Shakur Stevenson. So I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna leave it there, and Q, the floor is yours.
All right. So now, I agree with you, Jay. I agree with you on Teofimo, because he in my top. I feel like him, or I think him or Devin Haney will be the stars. Those two, I think, will end up being the top two. And Ryan Garcia, he right up there with him, but I think Devin Haney, man. Devin Haney, not Gervonta Davis, I'm tripping. Gervonta Davis, he a little too short. And he a little too short. I think the other guys got more power and possibly, I know, like my man Haney got like a 7'1" inch reach. He got a long reach, and his boxing IQ, footwork, like he got the skill set the way he gonna go down a checklist, man, like a top quarterback. He got checked down, man. I feel like his IQ gonna be, his IQ gonna make him supreme, and he's already fought Ryan Garcia throughout amateurs, and he done beat Ryan Garcia in amateurs or whatever, and that's one thing he done seen him, I think, several times. I watched the last fight they had or whatever, and he's the more superior boxing talent as far as skill wise, with the total with the boxing IQ, ring IQ and everything, and with the long arms. And I think he, but I like Teofimo Lopez also. And them two might end up being the next two fighting, because Teofimo Lopez was supposed to be fighting my man, what's his name?
Lomachenko.
Lomachenko, yeah. So he supposed to, but he not allowed to come back in the country or whatever with COVID-19 and all that type of stuff. So those two been going back and forth, and I really don't want that at this point for Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a dangerous fight, and I want to see Devin Haney. My money on Devin Haney. I want to see Devin Haney be that guy, whatever. But Teofimo Lopez could definitely be that guy. And then when you talk about Ryan Garcia, the speed he got, he long, lanky also. He got decent power. It just I believe De La Hoya and them going to give him the Canelo treatment and try to keep him away for certain dangerous fights and keep him. He got 3 million Instagram followers and all that. He got star power.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Devin Haney, I feel like I don't know about it just from outside the ring. I see him come snatch his girl up at the Super Bowl thing at the
you talking about Gervonta? You talking about Tank?
My bad.
Tank,
I don't know who I said, but yeah. Tank,
Tank did that.
Yeah. He might have a Napoleon complex. He's the shortest, and he wanna. He might have a quick fuse and everything, and that could end up. But he's dope. But my thing with him is watching him fight a older Gamboa, and Gamboa, which I seen him, he ruptured his Achilles in like 3rd, 4th round of the fight and went 12. I feel like you supposed to get him out of there. This man had to get surgery on his Achilles, if I'm not mistaken. It was ruptured.
And that's the thing about, there's been too many questionable performances from Gervonta Davis, even in a win. And I feel like, just like we were talking about Anthony Joshua, for him to be that guy at the heavyweight division and get his get back, he was supposed to take Ruiz out. He was dominating the fight towards the end. He should have really put his foot on the pedal if he wanted to supplant himself as, hey, that was just an aberration. And I think when you see things like that from fighters, and that's why I really don't put Gervonta Davis in that category, because you look at a guy like Teofimo Lopez, he won all with everybody. He gonna call out Lomachenko to the hit, to he's out of breath. And that's what I respect about fighters, them when they're young, being young and hungry, not looking and listening to their corners as far as being guided the right way. Not saying that their corners shouldn't guide them, but the mentality should be, I'm hungry and I want all the smoke. Even if you don't get the fight you want right then and your corner kind of errs on the side of caution, I really want to see that dog in you. And I think like I said again, man, we should have definitely mentioned Shakur Stevenson, because he's in a unique position of where he's fighting at 126 pounds, but he's 5'8", and he has the ability, 130, 135, as he fills out, capture titles in all of those divisions. And one thing I will say he has above all these other fighters that I've seen, he's probably the young guns we're talking about. Defensively, he's probably the best, and that produces longevity. Your defense is your best asset, and you still have a great offense. That produces longevity. Now, will his power translate? Will he be able to handle pressure? We'll see as he moves up and he starts fighting stiffer competition in heavier weights. But if I had to give a guy who second place, who we didn't even put on the list when we started naming people, I say Shakur Stevenson behind Teofimo Lopez, and that's just because of where they're at in development. I don't know what they're going to be in the end.
You gonna put him over? You gonna put him over Devin Haney?
I push
Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia
just because I think a lot of things will leave you as a fighter as you get older, and a lot of things can be exposed. But if you got great defense, that can carry you a lot further than just having a great offense and being solid defense.
Now, let me speak to the Tank point. Now, again, for me, man, I can't speak to a discipline. Although Q, like you brought it up, I saw that video too. There's been a couple moments with Tank that you might question some decision making. But what I will say about Tank that I will admit is that it's not that I expect him to win every fight. I actually expect Tank to lose a couple of fights. I honestly do. And that's why my position for Tank is that I believe he'll be legendary in a sense that I could very well see Tank losing, a fight or two. But at the young age of 25, I could see somebody with the power that he has. And Q, it's interesting, you spoke about the Gamboa fight. I remember back in the day when we all saw Gamboa and he had the nickname Baby Tyson. And everybody thought when Gamboa was on the way up that Gamboa was just he had that same kind of lightning power, small dude, and then fan favorite, and he fizzled out. And I kind of see Tank kind of in that same light, but I think Tank will fulfill more expectation than say Gamboa did in those younger years. I think Tank will lose a couple fights, but I think when you have that kind of power and you're at that light of a weight, I think there's a way to make some adjustments, man. I think he can end up being legendary. Now, winning every fight, listen, you're not going to hear that. I'm going to say that Tank going to sit there and win every single fight, but I think with special power like that, at that light of a weight, you could do something legendary.
His power was sort of subjective, though. I mean, because it's as your competition rise, like I say, your power.
But the only reason why I won't say that though, let me just say this right quick. It's true that power can be subjective, but I also think when you're talking about lightweight, it's not a mistake by anybody if you got 23 wins, 22 knockouts, no matter who you are.
But at the same time,
125, if you weigh in 125, 130, in those ranges, and you done knocked out 22 out of 23 people, I don't care who you are. We could argue that will that power translate as you get heavier, but if you are that light and you KO that many people, bro, you got some power, man. You got some smoke.
He barely making weight right now. Like he's missing weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He ain't get no damn taller. He's 5 foot shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The other guy
5'5".
Yeah, 5'5", short ass Tyrannosaurus Rex arm. Then you got guys these other guys, they taller. You know what I'm saying? They got longer reach. You know what I'm saying? And arguably, probably speed and power. I just think that I won't be surprised. It'll be a pleasant surprise because I like Tank. I really like Tank, but I don't really know if his frame as well as other things he got going on is gonna really, really benefit him as far as him going up because he because he gonna to end up going up in weight and that shit might be bad for him. You remember how Broner was tough as fuck at what 135?
Yeah.
Maybe one.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I see Gervonta Davis in the same fashion I see Berto and Broner.
Oh, nah, bro. Well, in what way?
Let me finish with this, where you see the physical tools, but they can't put it together. Berto, no defense. Broner, when it comes time to get grimy and dirty, he's not gonna stick his nose in it to try to win the fight. He never, even though he might have that extra gear, he never goes to it. He's looking at that Floyd Mayweather model as money made, not remembering or not being old enough to know who Pretty Boy was and how he came up. And I'm looking at Gervonta Davis, where you see he has the physical tools, he has knockout power. I'm gonna tell you what happened to both fighters, Andre, and this is why I'm putting him in that category. Because the question you posed, Q, Andre Berto, Broner, those knockouts stopped coming as they went up in weight and went up in competition, just like every other fighter does who has good power but not amazing power. Same thing happened with Thurman, even though he had enough boxing skill to rely on, but he also had the size to go with it. So with Gervonta Davis, man, I will say I'm a fan because I really like the PBC stable he's a part of. I love the camaraderie against those with those young fighters of Robert Easter, Spence, that whole little crew. I really like that. I like the camaraderie. I like the fact that they have a circle like that because it'll keep you competitive. You want to win like your friends winning, but I just think out of all of those, out of all of those, weight classes and people in that stable in that vicinity, I think he's at the greatest disadvantage. Number one, because it's height, and this is the biggest thing. Height is not the determining factor. It's his versatility. I don't think it's there. I don't think he's that versatile. And you need to be versatile fighting in a weight class that has so many different styles, like a Teofimo Lopez or a Lomachenko. You need to be more versatile. You need to be able to be a defensive fighter as well as an offensive fighter. You need to be able to give people angles and not just always be able to pressure and slug and bang somebody out of there. Because somebody's going to be able to take your pressure and ultimately not crack it in what you got.
And I'll say this
technically sound boxing match.
And I'll say this last point, man. And those are all valid points. But that's why, again, what I will say, man, to that point is I do think he will lose. So I agree with your analysis. I do think, remember, I don't think Tank gonna stay undefeated. I think he will take some L's, but I guess I'm holding out hope as a fan that Q, even to your point, with him coming in suspect on his weight, Jay, with your point with, maybe the defense ain't always there and you got to find another wrinkle in your power. I'm assuming that he's gonna go through those obstacles where he's gonna take an L or two. And I think somebody with that kind of special power can end up being legendary. Again, maybe not the best, but I think he'd be a legendary.
No, you got a point. If he could take Berto's mentality and not Broner's mentality, I think you're right. I think because it takes a certain type of fighter to recover from an L and reinvent himself. So I'm hoping you're right. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Gervonta. I like him, but I just don't believe in him.
Right. Most definitely. And he definitely gonna have to get a JT tape, man. Y'all ain't old enough to probably know about that, man. You know what I'm saying? he get a JT tape, man. He'll probably be good too because you can't be running up in nowhere with the Super Bowl performance, the Super Bowl event, grabbing a woman by their throat, bro, with all these cameras around, bro. It ain't right to do if ain't no cameras around, but all these cameras around, bro, you gonna end up in prison, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Only Mayweather could go to prison, go to jail, and come back to something like that, man.
Right.
Like you really gonna hurt your marketability. You know what I'm saying? You got a little marketability right now, you know. But end of the day, man, you don't need no more strikes against you, man. You got to get your discipline game up, man. And these boys, you in a pool, man. You in a pool of sharks, man. These boys tough out here, man. It's tough.
From 126 to 147. It's somebody you're going to have to see in the next 3 to 4 years about that business. You better be disciplined and ready for that.
Shit real out there. No definitely.
Yep. So, as we wrap it up, man, go ahead, comment on us. If we tell us we're wrong, you don't like our opinions, y'all got some suggestions, man. Suggest some stuff, man. We here for you. Just
Most
giving
definitely.
out knowledge. Hit them like buttons, hit those comments. We ask that y'all please be respectful. If you have some tips for the show, give us some tips. Q, I'll let you take us home.
Real stuff, man. I'm glad you said all of that, man. We artists, and we sensitive about our shit, man. So y'all got to really be respectful. Now, speak your mind, say whatever you need to say, man. We ain't going nowhere, so it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn to live with us, because we here. We out here, Boxing Vibes Podcast, and
Most
you know what I'm saying? We in the trenches, man. We ain't just somebody out here with an opinion. We out here. We know we rub shoulders with these damn people we talking about, man. We go to the fights.
We at these
You know what I'm
fights.
saying?
Hey, talk that talk. Talk that talk, Q.
Yeah, man. So, end of the day, man, salute everybody that you know what I'm saying, smash the like button and the subscribe buttons, and everybody that didn't, man, keep rocking with us. We gonna reel you in. You gonna hear about us, and it's gonna happen. So, end of the day, man. You know what I'm saying? One love to everybody, man. Everybody stay safe, man. Wear your COVID masks, wear your gloves and everything. Protect yourself, protect your loved ones. And you know what I'm saying? We'll get with y'all next time, man. Sometime real soon with the next topic. All right? Peace.
All right.
All right. Take care.